All right, let's dive right in. Today we're going to talk about a really powerful concept in Islam called al-ख़ayā. Now, you might hear it translated as shame or modesty or maybe even shyness, but honestly, it's so much deeper than that. And it brings up this fascinating question: what if real, true dignity is actually rooted in a very specific kind of shame? And look, this isn't some minor detail. According to this prophetic saying, ख़ayā isn't just one characteristic of Islam, it is the defining character. In another tradition, it's even called the entire religion. So it's pretty clear, if you want to understand Islam, you have to understand ख़ayā.
You know, in the world we live in today, we tend to see things pretty black and white. Dignity, that's a strength, right? It's something we want to have. Shame, that's a weakness. It's that painful, humiliating feeling we try to push away. We're taught they're total opposites.
But what if that whole picture is missing a huge piece? What if we've forgotten about a type of shame that doesn't tear us down, but actually builds our character? This is the big idea we're digging into: the concept of ख़ayā as the bridge that connects shame directly to dignity. So what is this thing really? To get to the heart of it, we've got to move way past the simple idea that it's just about being shy. It is so much more profound than that. Okay, so here's the key.
ख़ayā is a conscientious shame. It's a state of being deeply aware. It's that feeling you get when you realize you are being seen, and not just by the people around you, but by God, and even by your own inner conscience. It's not about feeling worthless. It's the very foundation, the spine of your dignity.
And check this out. This is where it gets really amazing. The word ख़ayā actually comes from the same Arabic root as Ḥayā, which means life, and al-Hayy, which is one of the names of God, the ever-living. So this concept of shame is literally connected to the source of all life itself. And it's inseparable from Iman, or faith. A hadith says they're a package deal. If one is gone, the other one goes with it.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The great scholar al-Qayyim is saying that without ख़ayā, a person is just flesh and blood. It's this specific quality, this moral awareness, that makes us more than just animals. It's what makes us truly human.
So, if ख़ayā is that essential, what happens when a whole society starts to lose it? What does a world without this inner moral compass actually look like? Well, the tradition warns that this is the root cause of some of our biggest problems today. The Quran asks this question over and over again. It criticizes this state of shamelessness, this illusion that you can get away with things because no one is watching. This mindset is tied directly to arrogance, to materialism, and to the injustices that happen when people think they're not accountable to anyone or anything higher than themselves. And this image, it just captures that internal feeling perfectly. Losing ख़ayā is, at its core, losing awareness. It's forgetting that everything we do, everything we think, everything we intend, it's all witnessed. And when we forget that, we open the door to our worst impulses. And the consequences of forgetting that we're seen, well, they're all around us. When that inner restraint disappears, it unleashes a flood of exploitation. It's the mindset that says it's okay to pollute a planet for profit or to take advantage of people for power. Our deepest crises, from social injustice to environmental destruction, are really just symptoms of this spiritual sickness. This is the end of that road. A society that has lost its ख़ayā just becomes a culture of shameless consumption. Everything has a price, but nothing has value. It just eats up resources, exploits people, and ultimately, it consumes itself in this endless, blind chase for more stuff, more status, leaving a trail of moral and environmental ruin. But this isn't meant to be a story of doom and gloom, not at all. The tradition also gives us a clear path back. It shows us how to reclaim this essential human quality, how to restore our own dignity. Let's take a look at that path. So, the journey back starts inside, with the pure intention of pleasing God. First, you have to acknowledge that divine gaze in every single moment. Second, you actively work on cultivating humility instead of pride. Third, you have to truly feel your fucker, your spiritual poverty, your absolute total dependence on your creator. And finally, the goal is to become transparent, to let your ego just dissolve. And listen to this incredible piece of wisdom. It kind of flips things on its head. It says a mistake that makes you humble and brings you back to God is actually better than a good deed that just puffs up your ego and makes you arrogant.
What really matters is your inner state, not just the outward show.
So, when you boil it all down, the goal is to stop what some have called self-seeing. It's about getting over the obsession with ourselves, our image, our desires, and instead becoming constantly, deeply aware of the divine presence and all around us. So, what's the payoff? What happens when a person, or maybe even a whole society, really takes this path seriously? What's the reward for cultivating ख़ayā? Well, the promise from God is huge. It's about real honor and true success, both in this life and the next. And this brings us right back to that beautiful paradox we started with. Real dignity isn't found in puffing yourself up and thinking you're great. It's found in the profound humility that comes from seeing the sacred, the divine. When you feel small in the face of that greatness, you are given a kind of dignity that no one can ever take from you. And that's the divine promise. A life lived with ख़ayā is a deeply blessed life. It brings you true honor, not the kind of temporary status the world chases, but a lasting dignity from God. It brings a deep inner peace. And when people start to live this way, it doesn't just elevate them, it elevates their whole society, building a country on a foundation of integrity, respect, and awareness.
And so we'll leave you with this powerful challenge from the poet Hafez. The single biggest thing standing between us and a life of true purpose, dignity, and connection to the divine is our own self, our own ego. ख़ayā is the key that helps us see that veil, and humility is the strength we need to finally and gracefully get out of our own way.